Hello students, good morning. In the last class we have studied about the 3 Newton's laws of motion, right? So in the today's class we are going to start with the conservation of momentum. So will we apply this momentum? Of course, correct. We apply this momentum in the Newton's second law of motion. So what is Newton's second law? It is nothing but the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied to that object. So the momentum is directly proportional to the force. Whatever the force we are applying to that object. When there is a change in force, there will be a change in momentum. So what is this momentum? It is nothing but the product of mass and velocity. When the velocity of the object changes, then there will be a change in momentum. So in the today's class, how this momentum is conserved for particular object. So we will start with one example. Okay. When the fast moving truck hits to a stationary car, what happens there? Then there is a change in position of the car. Due to a high speed of the truck hits to the car, it will changes its position and this car attains a velocity. That's because there will be a change in momentum of the truck as well as a change in momentum of the car, because this momentum is depend upon the velocity when there is a constant mass. Okay, when this high speed truck hits to a stationary speed car, okay, stationary speed means velocity is 0 or the speed is 0, hits to this car, the car will attain a velocity. Okay, then there is a increase in momentum of the car and here the truck loses its momentum. This because of a velocity is decreases in the truck. From this we can say that when there is a loss in momentum of the truck, then there will be a gain in momentum of the car. So we say that there is a momentum is conserved between both the bodies. Okay, so what is the statement of this conservation of momentum is nothing but when two or more bodies act upon one another, their total momentum remains constant provided no external forces are acting. So from here we can conclude that when two bodies, here we consider the truck and the car. Okay, bodies, when two bodies act upon one another, means the truck hits to the car. There means they act upon one another. Their total momentum remains constant. What happens there? When the truck momentum is decreases, the car momentum is increases. So what happens? Momentum is conserved or it remains constant and there will be no any external force we are applied to that both the bodies. Okay, this is the statement of the conservation of momentum. This is also called as a law of conservation of momentum. Either we call it as a principle of conservation of momentum. So you may heard that what is the conservation of energy? It is nothing but the energy neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transferred from one form to another form. It is the conservation of energy. Similarly, here the conservation of momentum. It means the momentum is neither be created nor be destroyed. Okay, so this is the conservation of momentum. So this conservation of momentum is in accordance with the Newton's third law of motion. So what is Newton's third law? It is nothing but the action and reaction are equal and opposite. So by considering this Newton's third law and conservation of momentum, we are going to derive the what is the formula for the conservation of momentum. So consider the same example for this conservation of a momentum. Okay, here let the mass of the truck be m1 in its velocity be u1. Here we consider the mass truck as a m1 and which is moving with the velocity u1, and what is its momentum? Of course, the product of mass and velocity. So the initial momentum of the car will be m1 into u1. Okay. Similarly, we have to consider another body. So that we consider the car. Similarly, its mass of car mass be m2 and its velocity be u2. Okay. The mass of the car be m2 and it is also moving with the u2. u2. Here we do not consider the stationary car, but it moving with a certain velocity, that is a u2. So what its initial momentum? So the initial momentum of the car be m2 into u2. Okay. So we have to calculate the initial momentum, that is the total initial momentum of both the bodies. So the total momentum before the collision. Here there is no any collision occur between both the bodies. Either this truck hits the car or that car hits the truck. It does not happen any. So we consider this momentum as a momentum before the collision, that is m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Okay, here it is a diagram. Observe carefully. Here the car has a mass m1 and its velocity u1, and here the mass of the car is m2 and its velocity is u2. This is before the collision. Okay, it is a momentum before the collision. When there is a collision means this truck hits to the car. There happens a collision between both the bodies. Okay, so this m1 truck hits the car m2 and there will be a momentum conserved. So it is during the collision. So what happens after that collision? So after the collision, the mass will be same. There is no change in the mass. But what happens to the velocity? It will changes. What happens? This truck loses its velocity and this car attains its velocity. So after collision, the momentum will be m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This is the momentum of the two bodies after the collision. Suppose the car and the truck collide in a short interval of a time t. Then there will be a change in momentum of the car with respect to a time interval. So we can say that the collision, the momentum after the collision of both the two bodies will become what happens? Hence, after the collision, there is no change in mass of two bodies. Okay, there will be no change in mass of both the bodies, but there is only change in velocity of both the bodies. They are truck and the car, and their velocity becomes v1 and v2 respectively. So what will be the total momentum? That is, total momentum after the collision will be m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Okay, before collision, what is the momentum? m1 u1 plus m2 u2, and after the collision the momentum will be m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Be remember. So we have to consider the short interval of a time, collision, and the momentum of both the objects. So we will get the force of both the bodies. So consider here. Suppose the truck and the car collide for a short time t. So due to the collision, the velocities of both the bodies changes, as you know. Suppose during the collision, what happens? The truck exerts a force F1. Here what happens? During the collision, the truck will exert a force F1. On which? On the car. Okay. The car attains a force from the truck, that we represent it as a F1. And in return, or which is opposite, that is, the car exerts the same force, but it is represented as a F2. On which? On the truck. Okay, that is we represent it as a F2. So we got the two forces, F1 and F2. F1 is a force acting on a car. Okay, it acting on a car by the truck, and F2 is another force which is acting by the truck the F2 is another force which is acting by the car on the truck. Okay, clear here? So we want to calculate the force F1 and F2 using the velocities and the mass of the object. So First case, that is a force F1. What we do here is, when the force F1 of the truck acts on a car, okay, for a time interval t, so the velocity of the car changes from u2 to v2, okay. What happens here? The force is applied to the car by the truck, and it changes its velocity from what? u2 to v2. Here why we consider u2 and v2 is the force of the truck. Here it is a F1, but it acts upon the car. Here which velocity of the object changes? Car velocity changes. So that's why we consider the velocity be u2 and v2. So the acceleration of the car will be a2 here. That is equals to v2 minus u2 divided by t. That is, change in velocity is nothing but the final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. I written same here. Similarly, we can write it for the when the force F2 of the truck acts on a truck for the time interval t. So the velocity of the truck changes from u1 to v1, and the acceleration will be a1. That we represented as a1 equals to v1 minus u1 divided by t. This is another force F2 which is acts upon truck. So as I told, force will be F2 and the velocities will be v1 and u1. So the acceleration of the truck is a1, that is equals to v1 minus u1 divided by t. Okay. So we know that the force is m into a. From where we get it is from the Newton's second law of motion. Force is proportional to mass and acceleration. That is F is equals to m into a. So here we are going to calculate the force F1 and F2. We are applying the force F1 exerted by the truck. Here force exerted by the truck means F1 equals to m2 into v2 minus u2 divided by t. This is the equation number 1. Then the force F2 exerted by the car F2, that is the force F2 exerted by the car, that is equals to m1 into v1 minus u1 divided by 2. This is the equation number 2. You got it? This is a F1 exerted by the truck and F2 exerted by the car. So now the force F1 exerted by the truck is action. Before going to that, here we are going to applying the Newton's third law of motion. As I told in the before starting, this conservation of moment is in accordance with Newton's third law of motion. So here we are applying a Newton's third law. The force F1 is exerted by the truck is the action. Whatever the force exerted from the truck is an action, and the opposite force which is exerted by the car is a reaction. That is written here. The force F2 exerted by the car is the reaction. So then according to Newton's third law, what is action and reaction are equal and opposite. We know that. Then F1 equals to minus F2. Why here minus sign? Equal and opposite. Here it is a positive, but it is a opposite one. Therefore minus F2. F1 and minus F2. So now putting the values of F1 and F2 from equation 1 and 2. Here is equation number 1 and here is equation number 2. We are applying these equations in here. Okay. Here it is a minus sign is there. So now we are putting the minus sign here. So we put the minus sign here. That is minus m1 into v1 minus u1 divided by t. Okay. This t and this t will be cancelled. So we get m2 as it is, m2 into v2 minus u2, and that is equals to m1, here minus sign, m1 into v1 minus u1. We are going to solve this. We got m2 into v2 minus u2, that is equal to minus m1 into v1 minus u1. So I am writing this here, m2 into v2 minus u2, which is equals to minus m1 into v1 minus u1. Multiply the m1 and m2 to the inside, that is m2 into v2 minus m2 into u2, which is equals to minus m1 into v1 plus minus v2 minus plus m1 into u1. Okay, write this one and this one on one side and this one and this one on the other side. So m2 v2, this one this side plus m1 v1, which is equals to this one m1 u1 plus this becomes plus m2 u2. So what we get, m2 v2 plus m1 v1, that is equals to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. So what is this v1 and v2? Velocities after the collision. So the product of mass and velocity is the total momentum. So the total momentum after the collision. So this is the total momentum before the collision. Or we can also write this as a m1 u1 is on this side and this on this side. Whatever, but we got it is a total momentum after collision is equal to total momentum before collision. So what we conclude here, there is no change in momentum. The momentum will be conserved here. Okay. So this is all about the conservation of a momentum. Any doubt in this one? If you can free to ask the questions anytime. So this proves that the law of conservation of a momentum, that is what the momentum is neither be created nor be destroyed, and it is conserved. It means it will remains constant. This is all about the conservation of momentum. In the next class, we are going to start with the what are the applications of this conservation of momentum. Students, we will studied about the 3 Newton's laws of motion. Before Newton, these 3 laws were given by the scientist name called Galileo Galilei. His full name is Galileo di Vincenzo Bonelli Galilei, and he was born on 15 February 1564 in Pisa, Italy. He studied his education and completed his education in University of Pisa. His interesting subjects are astronomy, that is natural astronomy, physics, engineering, kinematics and the mathematics. He started his career from the University of Pisa and University of Padua, and also he worked as an academic advisor of in He also worked as an academic advisor in Ostello Visidi firm, and Galileo studied the concepts like speed, velocity, gravitation, free fall and the kinematics and the laws of inertia, that is nothing but Newton's first law of motion and the planetary motions. All these concepts were studied by the Galileo, and he invented the thermoscope and the military compasses and the telescope. This telescope is helpful for the observation regarding the celestial objects. So his contribution related to astronomical objects includes the phases of Venus and the rings of the Saturn and the four largest satellites of Jupiter and the analysis of sunspot. So on the basis of his observation, he is called as a father of scientific method, father of science, and he is also called as a father of modern physics. But in some case he failed to explain or fails to match the theoretical and the practical observation. But his ideas, concept and the practical observation gives a milestone for the other scientists to study more in all the concepts, like he gives the planetary motion, and these planetary motion were further studied by the Kepler, and he gave the three main laws for the planetary motion. So failure is not a part, but it is a step towards the success. So be willing to be a beginner. Thank you.